Hey guys, this is Stoney and you're watching another StoneyTech video. Today I'm going to be repairing this iPhone 5 that I got off my friend, and he told me to repair it and keep it for myself, which was very generous. So what is actually wrong with it is that you can tell the screen has excessive damage to it. The top, bottom and a bit on the right, it's all been chipped off and ripped off. So I'm going to be repairing the screen today and seeing how it does. So these are the stuff that we're going to be using today. It's a suction cup, a spudger, a guitar pick and a screwdriver. So what you're going to use first is the suction cup, and you're going to put it on the actual phone screen, and you're going to pull up while you put the guitar pick in your actual screen, in between the screen and the actual body of the phone, which I'm going to be showing you right here. Then what you got to do is just go around the edges and just pop it off. This is very easy to pop off as the screen's been really damaged, so definitely going to be repairing that, making it look as new as possible. So what we're going to do immediately is remove the battery connector so we don't short circuit anything while we're trying to repair the screen. So I'm going to be doing that right now with my spudger tool, and it just comes out just like that. And now what I'm going to do is use my spudger tool to actually disconnect the battery connectors. So first one's going to be right to left. As you can see, that last one was really loose, so clearly it was not connected properly beforehand. So now what we're going to do is take off the suction cups. So now what we're going to do is actually disassemble the screen so we can use the parts to put in a new screen. So what I'm doing here right now is disconnecting the home button. So I'm just going to unscrew these two silver screws which hold down the home button and make it do that clicky noise that you guys all like. And then what we're going to do is remove the silver plate which is connected to the actual board. So try not to rip it off as you need it for later on. So as you can see now, I've actually removed the metal plating, and I'm going to put that to the side as you will need that for later to screw it back onto your new screen. So next what you're going to have to do is actually push out the home button. So that's very easy, just push it out towards, or just push it in, sorry, and then just grab it and then pull it a bit, but don't pull it too hard, you might rip it. And there you go, there's the home button. Go put that to the side as well. So now what we're going to do is actually take or remove the earpiece. So what we're going to actually do is just unscrew these two screws. So let's start from the right to the left. So the right screw is actually smaller than the left one, so keep your screws all in order or you're going to have a lot of problems later on down the line once replacing the actual parts. So this is the bracket. It just swipes off, but you can actually pull it off if you get a bit stuck. Don't put any pressure. And this is the actual earpiece. So keep those two together with the two screws. As you can see on the left side there, I just keep it in front of me. And now what we're going to do is take off the camera and the proximity sensor. So we can start from the right and just go underneath the little sticker bit, and it should just lift right up. So as you can see here, let me just zoom in. There's going to be one little thing holding the whole piece together. So you just gotta pull it out slowly and it should just pop right out. And then there's this camera and the proximity sensor. Please keep safely, or if you lose it, then you won't have no camera or sensor. So now what we're gonna do is actually remove the shielding of the actual phone so you can put it to the new screen. And there's two on each side and one on the top, one on the bottom, which I'm gonna show you in a bit. So make sure you keep it in order, as you can tell on the top left of the screen. So now we're just going to take the last two screws off. So here's one on the top. And then the other one right at the bottom. And you can use your fingers for this, but I just prefer to use a spudger. Just go underneath it and pull it up and it should just come straight out. Keep that safe as well, as you would need that for the next part of the screen repair. So as you can tell, this is the screen and it's been fairly damaged, so I won't be using it. Might use it for a testing screen, but other than that, not really. So here is the box that the new screen came in. I'm very surprised on how it came. never thought a screen would actually come like this, especially for iPhone 5, but it did, and it's really cool. So there goes the foam and the little thank you note, and there is the screen. And I believe underneath this there is something else there as well for it to help you actually repair your phone. Okay, so there we go, there's a box, and I'm not really going to open it, but here it comes with these essentials, which is very cool. Really nice of them to include that. And this was a very cheap screen as well. I think it was around £30, so overall not that bad. So here is the iPhone 5 screen, which I have right now, and it looks like it's in great condition. So what I'm going to do now is actually remove this purple protection of the actual screen with some tweezers, just like so. I tend to try not to use my hands too much, as it can leave a lot of smudges or damage to the phone or the screen itself. So now what we're going to do is put a thermal plate on the actual iPhone 5 screen. So now what we're going to do is actually secure the thermal plate onto the iPhone 5 screen. So we're going to start with the top one and then the bottom one, and then we're going to continue on with the two on each side of the phone screen. So now what we're going to do is put the proximity sensor / the camera back into the actual phone screen. So what you got to do is just use that little gold button bit and push it into the same position that you pulled it out of, and it should just stick there, and then the rest of it should just land into place, just like that. So now what we're going to do is put the earpiece and the shield back into place. So they should just all fall into place. They all have their little positions. So as you can see, I'm going to put in the earpiece and then the shield, then everything should lock into place. So we're going to put the first screw in, which is the smaller one on the right side. I'm going to just screw that in real quick. Then we're going to put the next screw in, which is the longer one, which should always be on the top left hole right there. So what we're going to do right now is going to put the home button back into place. Luckily there's no connectors with this because it's an iPhone 5 and there's no Touch ID sensor or anything like that on the phone. So what we're going to do is just grab the home button, push it in, make sure it's not wonky or looking a bit different on the front. And once you're 100% sure that it looks great, you're going to get that metal plate that I was talking about earlier. I'm just going to pop it on top, and we're going to screw the two screws in to secure it in place. So now what you have to do is plug in all the connectors into the motherboard of the phone and make sure that it works for us testing. So as you can see, I've now connected the screen, and you can clearly see that I've connected the battery last. You should do this so you don't short circuit anything, because putting the battery in and disconnecting stuff will just result to it damaged. As you can see, I've turned it on but not put the screen on completely, just to test it and see if it all works well. If you don't actually push in the screen into the actual frame completely, the screen and the home button will not work, because the home button does not have Touch ID on it. So what I advise you to do is just push it down a little bit from the top and just run your finger around and see if it works. As you can see, I've rescrewed all of the needed metal plates that were originally not on this device, and I've just replaced them with brand new ones, so it will protect the battery and it will protect the LCD connectors. So I've now just pushed in the sides, and I'm going to turn it back on and see how it goes. So now that the device is on, I'm going to be testing the camera, and I'm going to be seeing if the camera picture is clear and visible, because obviously if it's not, I'll have to be replacing that as well. But there was nothing said about the camera being damaged, so it should be fine, as you can see here right now. So guys, this is the end of another StoneyTech video. This is a 16GB iPhone 5 on iOS 6.1.3. See you in the next one.